Bring the lights down low, it's time to show. Lights, camera, you know what we mean. Behold the magic of the silver screen. Some movies rock, some movies shock. They're powerful, alright. We cover them all on your favorite part. So many movies we can choose. Even when you win, you lose. Life moves pretty fast. Some will fizzle and some movies last. I understood there would be no math. It's the 30-something movie podcast. Be excellent to each other. Please add a word to your mother. They're from the best decades. Movie magic that never fades. Lightsabers clash, phasers set to stun. Action packed from dusk till dawn. We have deep thoughts and questions free. Come share our love of the movies we see. Life moves pretty fast. Some will fizzle and some movies last. I understood there would be no math. It's the 30-something movie podcast.
It is the 30-something movie podcast, and we have reached the end. The end of 1994. This is the end. My
friend.
only friend, the end. Yes, it is the end. This is our final episode of the 30-something movie podcast. It's been a great run. Thank you all for being here with us. We've decided to end it. It's not going any further. No, I'm kidding. It's just the end of 94. We're going to keep doing this until we're all in the nursing home and somehow get microphones hooked up to our hospital beds.
Yep. Why not?
Why not? I mean, we clearly don't. Other than sucking down tapioca, I probably don't have anything better to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it coats the throat. It's probably good for podcasting. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we're not old yet. We're not gone yet. We're still here. I'm here. We're here. We're all here now. Thank you. How are you? Pat, how are you?
Great. How are you guys doing?
Excellent. Doing pretty good. Bo, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
This evening, whenever you're listening, it might be this morning, because time has no meaning when you're listening to podcasts. We are looking at The Next Karate Kid. This is the final movie of our 1994 year. It's been a fun year. Like, I was looking back on the other movies that we've done this year, even looking back on where we started, because sometimes I'll have people ask me when I do mention out in the actual real world that I have a movie podcast, when I'm not embarrassed enough to mention, because we are three guys slightly embarrassed to have a movie podcast, to steal a phrase. I will mention it, and somebody will be like, well, it's like, oh, what have you done? And I was like, oh my God, what have we done? Like, I have a hard time.
Really?
I'm like, what did we do last week? I don't remember. It all does kind of blend together, especially we've almost been doing this 10 years now. So it's kind of like when somebody asks me that, I'm like, what did we do this year?
It's an unfair question, if I'm being honest.
It kind of is. Like, thankfully, I have this all in a Google spreadsheet. So when people ask that, I'm like, just give me, like, just vamp for a second.
Is there a particular movie you're interested in? Let me just look, because I have no idea.
Name a movie between 1985 and 1994. And my answer is yes.
Yeah, we've done a decent job. I mean, when you think about it, we hit 52 a year plus.
Ish, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good. Yeah. So we did. I do want to do a quick. Since
it's not bad, but would you say it's pretty good?
Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. So I want to do a quick recap, because it is kind of fun to go back through and think about, even if we've forgotten what we did this year. Because sometimes I look at it and I go, wait a minute, was that this year? Was that last year? And then sometimes I look and I go, wow, that was 5 years ago. Okay. I was way off. Swampy, slappy, Samsonite. I was way off, which is a movie we did this year.
Mm-hmm.
So we started the year, I'm looking back at our list, we started the year with the Naked Gun 33 1/3. We had The Getaway, we had The Chase, we had a lot of car chases at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
We had The Crow. We had a non-Star Trek 4 bus fight in The Specialist with Sylvester Stallone. We had Pulp Fiction. We did The Lion King. We did Clear and Present Danger, Natural Born Killers, Shawshank Redemption. Then we had the month of sci-fi. We did Stargate, Star Trek Generations, Time Cop. Then we did some crazy weird ones. We did Tammy and the T-Rex.
Yeah, we did.
I'm kind of excited about that one. We did Tammy and the T-Rex. We did Breakin' and Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We did, I am happy to say, we did finally do, after I talked about it for like 2 years, we did Damselvis, Daughter of Helvis.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we did.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we did. We did Highlander 2, The Crappening. We did Speed. We did True Lies. I killed a lot of people, but they're all bad. We did, what else did we do? We did Hoop Dreams. We did Forrest Gump, Ace Ventura, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, De La Morte, De La More, Interview with the Vampire, In the Mouth of Madness, Clerks, Renaissance Man, The Paper. We had Rob Perry joined us for a bunch of episodes in October, and then he joined us again for The Paper because he used to work for a paper. We had new Patreon member Addie had joined us for Renaissance Man, so we got to meet some new people that we had not met before. Just a ton of fun movies this last year. And I'm looking ahead to 95, and it is not disappointing at all.
There it is.
We've got a lot of really good stuff. And I don't know if I told you guys this or not yet. I believe, fingers crossed, that Podrick is going to be joining us for one of our movies early on next year as well. So
That's fantastic.
So we haven't had a chance to talk to him too much lately. I email back and forth with him a little bit here and there, but he wants to come on and join us for one of our episodes, I think in February. Yeah, so we'll be talking to him soon. But yeah, it's been such a fun year of stuff and a fun year of movies, and meeting some of new Patreon folks, or having Rob come back for a bunch of episodes, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I've really, really enjoyed this year, and I'm looking forward to next year. Here's a question that I did not set you guys up for very well. I will actually drop in the chat very, very quickly, if I can remember where the chat is. There we go. The link to the Google spreadsheet that has all the stuff from this year. Was there a favorite movie that we did this year?
Favorite movie
Of the ones we covered this year, what was your favorite, or what was one that you were like, I didn't expect that to be one that I would like?
It's funny because that's what I was just going to ask. Like, while we're thinking about favorites, should we also talk about the one that came out of left field and surprised us?
Yeah.
Because I've got that one.
I know that one right away. I wonder if it's the same one.
De La Morte, De La More for me.
Oh, yeah.
Hot dang. Like, I'm going to watch that again. Like, that was fun. I had never heard of it. I have told more than 10 people about that movie.
Oh, nice. And they'll tell
you.
You gotta be
a little careful who you tell about that movie, because it's a little odd.
Yeah.
But when you find someone,
if they know us, it's probably okay.
Right. They will appreciate that level of, that's a special movie, man.
That's mine too. I think of the ones this year that I didn't expect, it would be De La Morte, De La More.
That was amazing.
Now, the one that may inspire me to break my rule, when I go to C2E2, I do not go to pay for autographs or things like that for people. Just to see if anyone else has ever approached this person and had them sign an autograph with like a movie promotional photo of this movie. Denise Richards is coming to C2E2 this year.
Oh, no kidding. That's right.
I almost want to pay for an autograph and bring up a picture of Tammy and the T-Rex and just be like, thank you so much for making Tammy and the T-Rex.
That needs to happen.
And then she has you escorted out.
Right. Yes. Like, can we move this guy and make room for the Wild Things fans?
Because let's be honest, that's most of who's coming.
Of which I might get in line for that too. It's okay.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So yes, I will say unexpected movie this year that I loved, because I think back to some of the other years, and like Pat, you and I think agreed that one year that Jacob's Ladder was the one that kind of like came out of left field for us.
Yep.
And that we really enjoyed. I think De La Morte, De La More was the one this year that I was like not expecting to enjoy that one as much as I did. And so that one definitely, the one that I was probably looking forward to most this year that I had not watched in a while and was looking forward to watching again was The Crow. It had been a while since I'd watched The Crow.
Yeah.
And so when I knew that one was coming up for 94, I was like, oh, cool. Okay, well, I get to watch The Crow again. And it had been a few years. So that one I was looking forward to. That's probably, of all the movies that are on here, that's probably the one I was looking forward to the most. But yes, De La Morte de l'Amore is probably my favorite from this year. I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre too, but that was
Yeah.
not. Let me rephrase that. Texas Chainsaw Massacre also,
Right.
not Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yes.
So, like, that one definitely came out of nowhere for me. My favorite? Well, excuse me. I'm a sci-fi nerd at heart.
Yeah.
It might have been Stargate.
Okay.
Stargate.
I really like
Was
that
Stargate
movie.
this year?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was the
I
month.
know.
That was the month where we did our Patreon was Starman.
Mhm.
Starman.
Oh, yeah.
We had Stargate, Star Trek Generations, Time Cop,
Yep.
and Frankenstein.
Yep. And that was the same month that I did that weird little movie
Oblivion, yeah.
that had George Takei in it, who was making like these completely anachronistic Star Trek jokes
Yeah.
in the space western. Jim, beam me
Yes.
up. No, drunk Sulu. No, just stop. No. Patrick, did you have a favorite from this year?
I might have to daily double the Stargate.
Okay.
I'm working without the list right now because the movies are all running together.
Yeah.
I'm probably excuse me, I'm probably missing like a super obvious one, but yeah, Stargate I really liked. What else? I'd have to go through the list.
Yeah.
I have to go through the list and really study it. Because I'm falling into they all blend together trap.
Yeah. I will say the other movie that we covered this year that's not from 1994, but we did do an episode on was that I absolutely loved, and the 4K Blu-ray copy is behind me because I bought it the day it came out, is Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
So that was not a 1994 movie, but we did do an episode on it this year, and I thoroughly enjoy all of the Deadpool movies, and that one was phenomenal.
Yeah, that movie was pretty outstanding.
I don't remember how many times I saw it in the theater. I think it might have been 3, but
Mm-hmm.
it was good stuff. And continues to be good stuff now that I can watch it whenever I want.
Oh, jeez. We're driving in a Honda Odyssey.
I take back what I said. This Honda Odyssey effing rocks. Who are you? It's been a long time since I've seen Sling Blade. Can you hit me with that one more time? Who is your dialect coach? I love that movie.
Tombstone wasn't this year, was it?
No, I believe Tombstone, I think, was towards the end of last year.
Okay, and then same as Wyatt Earp?
Wyatt Earp was this year.
Okay, so Wyatt Earp was...
I think Tombstone we did in December of last
So
year.
it feels like this year.
So, right, it kind of feels like this year. And then we did Wyatt Earp like the next month.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, just wanted to take a quick little stroll down memory lane from this year before we dive into our last episode of the year. But it's been a lot of fun this year. So a lot of fun stuff this year, a lot of good stuff looking forward to for next year. Just every month, just looking at the schedule, every month is a banger of a month. Like there are, I don't see too many months where anything is like filler, where we're looking at it and just going, well, yeah, okay, we'll get through April and then we'll be okay.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing that for next month or for next year. So really, really looking forward to it. All right. The next Karate Kid. We have left Daniel-san. We have moved on. We're not in California anymore. We're in Boston. We've actually gone coast to coast. We're in Boston for this one. This one came out on August 12th, 1994, rated PG, runtime 1 hour, 47 minutes, directed by Christopher Kane. He did Young Guns and Pure Country. Writer was Mark Lee, who did Nothing Personal and The Best of Friends. Producer was Jerry Weintraub, who did The Karate Kid and Ocean's 11, the 2001 version. Composer is Bill Conti, who did Rocky and For Your Eyes Only. Cinematographer was Laszlo Kovacs, who did Easy Rider and Ghostbusters. Editor was Ronald Roos, who did Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, and The Bucket List. The production company was Columbia Pictures. The budget was $12 million. The box office was $15.8 million. So it did not make a ton of moolah. Flickmetrics gives it a 45%. CinemaScore gives it a B+. I believe, I wanted to highlight this one because it is so low. I believe Rotten Tomatoes gives this a 7%.
Wow.
If I'm correct. Very, very, very much on the low end of things. So, Pat Morita plays Mr. Miyagi. He was in The Karate Kid and Mulan. Hilary Swank is Julie Pierce. She was in Boys Don't Cry and $1 Million Baby. Michael Ironside plays Colonel Paul Dugan, who was in Top Gun and Total Recall. Constance Towers is Louisa Pierce. She was in The Horse Soldiers and Shock Corridor. Chris Conrad was Eric McGowan. He was in Airborne and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Michael Cavalieri, I think I got that right, was Ned Randall. He was in Showdown and Lion Strike. Walton Goggins is Charlie. He was in The Hateful Eight and Justified. Arsenio Sonny Trinidad was the Abbott monk. He was in Bloodsport 2 and Hacks. Seth Everman was another monk. He was in The Masterpiece and Innocence Lost. Thomas Downey played Morgan. He was in Courage Under Fire and Starship Troopers 2. Clarence Gilliard Jr. played G.I. He was in Die Hard and Walker, Texas Ranger. That was Walker's less experienced cousin, Walter, Texas Ranger. He was not as successful as Walker was. Did not get out of situations that Walker could easily get out of. Very short-lived TV show. Spin-off, not as interesting. Jane Sibbett played the school principal. She was in Friends and It Takes Two. A couple of quick things for this one. This was Hilary Swank's pretty much first major lead role in a movie. She later did go on to win 2 Academy Awards for Boys Don't Cry and $1 Million Baby. This was Pat Morita's last time as Mr. Miyagi. Did I mention spoilers about things? Spoilers real quick for Cobra Kai. In fact, have you guys caught up on Cobra Kai? Have you been watching Cobra Kai?
No. Don't worry about it. I'll get there eventually.
I don't think this is too much of a spoiler. I'm just going to say that using some CGI, they do, for a moment, they do bring an image of a younger-ish or same age he would have been in the Karate Kid movies. Pat Morita back as Mr. Miyagi for a kind of a, I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to call it like a flashback, but kind of a vision that someone is having, a dream maybe. And so he is back for a moment. But realistically, as an actual person, this was the 4th and final time in the Karate Kid series that he was there as Mr. Miyagi. The filmmakers collaborated with real monks for authenticity in the monastery scenes. We had Walter Goggins. He would later be in Justified and The Righteous Gemstones, and this is one of his first film appearances. He plays one of the school bullies in this. Bill Conti is back as the composer. He scored the original Karate Kid movies, and one difference, like I said before, this one is moved from California to Boston, so it is a different location for Mr. Miyagi. He is not in his usual surroundings. In a new chapter of honor and discipline, Mr. Miyagi takes a troubled teenager under his wing. Julie Pierce struggles with grief, anger, and bullies, but through the wisdom of karate, she learns to find her inner strength.
Focus. Discipline. Courage. They prepared Miyagi to face anything, but nothing can prepare him for the next Karate Kid.
Mr. Miyagi is teaching you karate, huh?
A little.
If I try to kiss you, will you use it?
She's like no student he's ever had.
I want school too.
What's wrong with you? Are you crazy?
Miyagi
have much to learn about the girl. Oh, it's easier. He's like no teacher she's ever seen.
Would you believe it? I'm dancing.
Together, they'll face a challenge.
You start hanging out with me and my friends, you can have any damn thing that you want.
Like nothing they've ever known.
Let's go, McGowan.
This summer, an ancient tradition
True strength come from inside.
is about to collide
Come on, guys, get him.
with a new generation.
Let me fight him.
You put her away.
No teach that kind of stuff, girls, Jim.
The next Karate Kid.
Ten major moments that we break this down into so you don't have to. So first of the major moments to get us started off here, our boy Miyagi is at Arlington National Cemetery minding his own business when somebody decides to drop a lifetime supply of responsibility in his lap, where he meets Louisa Pierce, who offers him a lovely deal. Please take my moody, hawk-obsessed granddaughter, and I will go tend your bonsai trees in California. And because Mr. Miyagi is a sucker for dramatic, lonely teenagers, he does agree. Julie, a.k.a. Teen Angst Incarnate, is introduced, glaring at her grandmother and pining for her hawk angel, who's living rent-free on a school rooftop coop. She's got the kind of attitude that screams to us future karate prodigy, but she doesn't know that yet. Miyagi, sensing a challenge, moves in and starts his Jedi Master routine on Julie. At Julie's school, it seems like this is a really interesting school. The alpha elite, think Cobra Kai meets mall cops, basically run the place under Colonel Paul Dugan, because every high school has a colonel running a paramilitary group.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that. Okay, I hate to cut into your thing here, but
please do.
At any point do they talk about this being a military academy or some sort of? Okay, good. As long as I wasn't the only one.
No,
I was very confused.
Growing up, this was my assumption watching this as a 13-year-old. I was like, wow, Boston seems tough.
I like your interpretation of this. I'm going to run with that.
I assumed Massachusetts was a very rough place to grow up.
Maybe it is, and I just don't realize it.
I mean, I've been to Boston since then. It didn't seem like it, but I don't know. I didn't go to high school there, so.
Right.
But yes, so apparently we've got paramilitary groups being started here. Ned Randall, the leader of the Alpha Male Squad, has one mission: to make Julie's life miserable while rocking the world's most punchable smirk. Eric, the nice guy security guard, who's actually likes Julie for more than her rooftop hawk collection, steps in to help her. Julie narrowly avoids becoming a hood ornament in the movie by instinctively doing a sick karate move, which Mr. Miyagi notices, and then in full wise sensei mode, realizes that she might have some skills here. So he does learn that her dad taught her some moves that he learned from Mr. Miyagi's old student. So in other words, she's been kind of sitting on some karate gold and has maybe not fully used her skills as much as she could. There's a lot of potential there. Julie sneaks out at night to go feed her hawk, as one does, and that's not a euphemism, and gets caught by the Alpha Elite Squad. They chase her through the school like some villains in a low-budget Scooby-Doo episode, but she does escape. The cops show up, and because it's the 90s, she gets arrested for feeding birds while female. She is suspended for 2 weeks, and she's now free to go on a little ultimate training montage with Mr. Miyagi. Miyagi takes Julie to a Buddhist monastery where she's introduced to Zen karate, monks with killer archery skills, and possibly the worst birthday cake that has ever existed. The monks throw a surprise party, proving that they are the most wholesome bros ever to exist. Julie learns balance, coordination, and how to bowl strikes while blindfolded, which are skills every teenager is going to need to survive high school. Bo, those skills would have come in handy for you and I the time that we went bowling.
Gosh, why does that come up twice in 2 weeks?
It has, hasn't it? Well, because we were over by the bowling alley the other day.
Yeah.
That's why.
And painful memories.
It was. For those that may not have heard the story, Bo and I were bowling together, like we were on a team, and my girlfriend and one of our friends were on another team, and if I remember correctly, you and I bowled a combined 33.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
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 Mm.
Yeah. Now that would be worse had we been using bumpers, but we were not. So at the very least, we were honest about our game.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta own it.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we're in a bowling alley.
Thankfully, you're right. So we're safe. Thank God.
We're safe. We're in a bowling alley.
Yeah.
Gotta own
Bo,
it.
from what I remember, you even fell down once.
I think that did happen. Yes.
I feel like you might have pulled like a Fred Flintstone Twinkle Toes kind of a thing, and then you fell down.
Yeah, it was not my finest hour.
No,
I'm not gonna.
That's why I'm thankful that this was the era before everyone had smartphones with cameras.
Oh,
Because can you imagine that? I mean, I feel like footage of us bowling would have, if this was today, footage of us bowling would have gone up on TikTok so fast.
Oh yeah, we would still be viewing it on the Tiki Takis.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, back in Boston, Julie discovers that Ned snitched on Angel, and so Angel has been hauled off by animal control. But fear not, because Mr. Miyagi uses his magical healing hands to fix the bird's wing. Okay, I'll come back to that later.
Yeah, that's just
Was that one of your things you want to talk about, Pat?
There's a lot. There's a lot I need to talk about in this movie.
Understood. So after Mr. Miyagi plays the Stan Bush song, "You've Got the Touch," and heals Angel the bird, Julie and Miyagi release Angel into the wild. And she learns an important life lesson that sometimes you've got to let go of your emotional baggage, especially when that baggage looks exactly like a bird of prey. Miyagi, officially the coolest guardian ever, buys Julie a prom dress and teaches her to dance. But prom takes a bit of a turn when the Alpha Elite bungee jump into the gym because why not?
Why not?
Why not? Inexplicable bungee jumping.
Okay, I'm not sure.
Don't hold back, Pat. Let us have it.
What was the point?
Yes.
I mean, I feel like it's like, what was the line? Carpet pissers are not the issue here, dude. It's unchecked aggression. What was the thing? Anyways, it's like, why did they do that? And how did that disrupt the dance? And everyone was so upset. And then the one guy, like, breaks his arm or hits his head, so he's concussed or he's busted or whatever. And then they're all just like, dude, you just hurt your buddy. And you're like, doesn't matter. And it's like, okay, that's fine, but you guys kind of look like a bunch of tools. They do. And like the whole dance, like, honestly, I think everyone was just kind of like, okay, the psycho dudes just bungee jumped in. One guy got busted. Yeah. All right, let's dance. Like, I mean, it was kind of like, I don't get what, I don't get it. Like, I don't get how that was showing off and what that was showing off. Like, that whole scene is just kind of funny to me.
So guys, here's where I want to be culturally sensitive. None of us grew up or went to high school in Boston. I don't think we truly understand what Boston was like in the 90s. I think we need to be culturally sensitive to the fact that this is a time and place where people bungee jumped into their prom as part of a paramilitary group.
I just, I'm going to kind of go off on Red Squad there for a little bit, but I don't know if now's the time.
Yeah. Well, so the Suicide Squad bungee jumps in to prom, and
that whole scene, I just don't get it. I just don't. Huh. Your buddy got hurt. Yeah, so doesn't matter. He's Red Squad. We're Red Squad. We can bungee jump through prom decorations.
I read something online where this team, this paramilitary group led by Michael Ironside, was referred to as Douche Squad. So feel free to use that term from now on if you want. Anyway, Ned decides to escalate this from petty bullying to full-on car smashing with a baseball bat, where they're going to meet at the docks, because why not?
Yeah.
And he give him a couple of years, he'll grow his little evil mustache, and he'll be a nice little cartoon villain. Yeah. At the docks, Ed and Douche Squad set Eric's car on fire because we have escalated to the point where, sure, let's just have massive property damage, and because nothing else says I'm a big, strong man like torching someone's ride.
Yeah, and I mean, no police, no fire, no any. Yeah.
Again, guys, it's Boston in the mid-90s. I don't think we fully understand and appreciate just how much this is like Demolition Man at the very beginning of the movie. Like, I think Boston has really turned itself around. I feel like Boston was post-apocalyptic in the mid-90s. Now, I've never been there. I only take what I know from movies. So I'm going to assume that that's what Boston was like in the mid-90s. And I'm so happy they turned things around, because when Sharon and I were there, a couple of years ago, it was a lovely place.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that they've really been able to make some
For those
changes.
playing along at home, please note the sarcasm about the 90s Boston in our illustrious host's voice.
Is it sarcasm, Pat?
I'm not qualified to say.
Only your Undertaker knows for sure. So yes, we're at the docks now. We're torching people's cars and busting them up, and Miyagi and Julie show up just in time. Julie squares off with Ned, who tries every dirty trick in the book, including throwing sand in her face.
Yeah.
Bad form, as Captain Hook would say. Julie, now officially in beast mode, defeats him with grace, karate, and a little dash of pure spite in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Colonel Dugan tries to rally the douche squad elite for round 2, but they've had enough of his boot camp cosplay. So Miyagi decides to challenge Dugan to a fight, and clearly forgetting he's in a Karate Kid movie, he accepts the challenge and gets thoroughly Miyagi'd at this point. What I was really hoping for was that we would get another Karate Kid 2 nose boop from Miyagi when he goes to look like he's going to do that fine kind of a deal. We did not, and that's fine. That's okay. We don't want to just repeat stuff from other movies.
No, never.
The Suicide Squad ditches Dugan. Julie learns how to stand tall herself. An angel soars into the sky like a hawk-shaped metaphor for Julie's newfound freedom. That is the major moments of the next Karate Kid. I would imagine, now we've shared a little bit so far. Pat, would I be correct in saying that we have more deep thoughts?
Oh, we have deep thoughts.
Okay,
well,
let's
I don't know how deep they go. It's rather shallow.
Well, let's start digging and see what we can find.
And now, deep thoughts.
I have an opinion on this matter.
Don't mince words, Bones. What do you really think?
I like it a lot. Wow. It's very deep. Thank you.
All right. Did we all see this movie when it came out?
I did not.
You did not. When was the first time you saw it?
This weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
I am surprised. Now, had you seen the other Karate Kid movies closer to when they came out? Okay. So just this one, okay.
Yeah, I guess it just wasn't into it. I don't know.
That's
it's kind of like last week.
Do you also hate the 2016 Ghostbusters?
2016 Ghostbusters. Is that the one I've fallen asleep trying to watch twice?
I'm just joking because it's the one with all the women.
Yeah, that's the one I've fallen asleep trying to watch twice.
That's all right. There's part of me that wonders, like, why did this movie not do so well? Is it because it genuinely is not a good Karate Kid movie? Do people have something against? Because, I mean, back in the day, you'd still have, even in the earlier 2000s, you'd have people say, well, that's stupid. You can't have a Wonder Woman movie because, like, a female superhero, like, leading their own movie? No. So part of me, and I'm not implying that that's why you didn't watch the movie, but I'm wondering, did this movie not
John, it sounds like you might be.
I mean, I could be if you want me to. I wonder if that's one of the reasons this movie did not do well, was because people were like, a girl karate movie? Because I don't feel like that sentiment didn't really seem to change. I'm just going to pick an arbitrary date and say, I don't feel like that sentiment changed much until about 2015. And then people were like, oh, look, we had Wonder Woman. Oh, look, we've had Black Widow. Oh, look, we've had like all these female-led action movies and superhero movies. And then people finally stopped with that stupid excuse of, yeah, Wonder Woman can't lead her own movie.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the case here, though, because I don't even remember when this movie came out. I don't remember it as, oh, it's the Girl Karate Kid movie. Okay. It was just more they're changing it up, right?
Because that was my, even as a kid, that was my thought. I remember going to see this, maybe in the theater, because I loved the other Karate Kid movies. So I was like, oh, this is cool. It's a little bit different, and it's a girl instead of Daniel, and we'll give it a try. And I remember even as a kid, like thinking, this is like more of the same, but not enough of the same.
Yeah, I think that's at least for me. It is. It's kind of like the same kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Kid needs to learn to stand up for herself or for themselves against the big, like organized group. It's the bullies, right?
Yeah.
But there wasn't a ton of karate in this movie, for it being a Karate Kid movie.
That was
because they didn't.
I asked that question to myself, and then I tried to do a quick search to see if I could find it. I was like, has anybody calculated how much karate we actually see in each of these Karate Kid movies? Because right. I'm exactly the same page you're on. After watching this movie again this last week, I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, how much actual karate did we get in this movie? Because it doesn't seem like much.
Right. And I mean, I like a lot of the stuff that happened in the movie, but it was just not cohesive and steady enough to make me quote unquote like the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, the monastery was very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. But we didn't get a chance to explore those plot threads on a deeper level. So yeah, I don't know that it was a female main character was the holdup, and she did quite well with the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I think the holdup was just the movie was just kind of formulaic. It seemed to be kind of following the formula of the first three movies. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got to say about that.
And there were so many things in this movie. Like when I was a kid, I enjoyed this movie. Watching it again, like I'm going to say I enjoyed, what did I enjoy? I enjoyed Julie's character and Miyagi's character for the most part. Mm-hmm. I thought Michael Ironside, I mean, he's always a good villain, but as a Karate Kid villain goes, like he's almost a caricature of the other villains like John Kreese and Terry Silver and the other villains we got. I mean, and they were kind of extreme villains in their own right, but Michael Ironside was, I don't know, he was like, he never at any point seemed as threatening as those other villains did.
Right.
And so he was almost like a cartoon version of a Karate Kid villain. And I don't know overall the movie itself. I don't know that I enjoyed the movie for the same reasons you're bringing up, that it wasn't coherent enough. I didn't really care. Like I enjoyed Julie's character. I thought Hilary Swank did a great job, but there were just so many inexplicable things in this movie. Like it was, you know, inexplicably, why is the alpha douche squad, like, why are they hanging around at the school at night? They're just hanging around waiting for Julie to come and try her and get her bird?
Yeah.
Why are
and
they
how come these guys, like, they can firebomb cars and no police show up?
Right, there's no
they
consequences.
Can shove kids, they can shove kids up against the wall or, you know.
Right.
Detention.
Inexplicable bungee jumping at prom.
Yeah.
Like there were certain things about this that made me think of, this is the bungee jumping at prom. That made me think of, okay, this is as campy as a Ninja Turtles movie.
Yes.
But it's not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No.
Like when the title of your movie is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
yeah,
I expect some campiness and I expect a little weirdness. But when it's a bunch of teenage boys as part of a weird paramilitary group, led by Michael Ironside, I'm like, I don't understand.
And they're like pushing people around, grabbing them, and
I don't understand. And when compared with the other Karate Kid movies, you ask me the Maximus question: are you not entertained? I'm like, I'm probably not. Yeah. Not as much as I had hoped I would be.
I hear you.
So I mean, I don't necessarily want to bash the movie. I just want to ask the movie some questions that I don't think it's ever going to answer for me.
Right.
So here's a question. Have you guys watched, how much of Cobra Kai have you watched, if any?
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Okay. Bo, have you watched it?
Yeah.
No.
None of it?
None.
Okay. All right. And I mean, this will spoil. I don't know if you have plans to watch it or not.
Eventually.
Okay. So, I mean, they do each season, they do kind of manage to bring in characters from throughout the Karate Kid franchise. And at this point, and I feel like, is this the last season, Pat?
Yes, and it's split into 3 parts.
Yes. Yeah.
The 3rd part is coming out in February.
Yes, because I've finished all the way up to where we are now. I finally caught up to it. I was almost like a year behind, and I finally caught up to it. But I am to the point where we're at now. We're waiting for the new episodes. I will say, as a bit of a spoiler, if nobody wants to hear this, skip ahead just a minute. The one character from the Karate Kid movies that they have not brought back yet is Julie. So Hilary Swank has not appeared in any of Cobra Kai, but they have brought back a bunch of villains, a bunch of side characters, a bunch of people from the other Karate Kid movies. She is within this Karate Kid universe. Like I'm not going to the Jackie Chan movies, but within this Karate Kid universe, she's not shown up. And there are some rumors flying around. Well, maybe she will, and maybe she'll appear in the final episodes of this season. Who knows? I guess my question is, so Pat, you've seen the show. Would you want her to? Like, is there enough of a reason for her to show up, or would that just be more of a like, oh, okay, well, they brought that character too?
It's interesting that's like the one omission, right? Like that's so interesting to me.
Yeah. I mean, I think they've brought back everybody else, so I feel like you have some reasons to bring her back. I'm sure you can fit her into the story if she's interested in coming back. I did see, I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, we went to go see Gladiator 2, Electric Boogaloo, the other day, and there was a poster up for a new Karate Kid movie.
No kidding.
I've heard this. Yeah.
I have not heard this.
Yeah, it is it called the Karate Kid Legends?
Oh.
I think is what it's called. Let me see if I can find it real fast. A 6th film. Yes. So what will be interesting is I have not seen. Have you seen the Jackie Chan Karate Kid movie?
No.
Okay.
Yes, I take it back. I have.
So I guess I don't know enough about the Jackie Chan Karate Kid movie, the 2010 Karate Kid movie. It's my understanding that is Jackie Chan playing Mr. Miyagi, or is he a different character?
I believe he's a different character.
Okay, that makes more sense then, because this Karate Kid Legends movie is supposed to also star Ralph Macchio as Daniel LaRusso.
Huh. All right.
Okay.
So in my brain, I'm thinking, wait a minute now. If Jackie Chan, I'm looking it up right now. Jackie Chan's name is Mr. Han. So, okay, so he is not supposed to be Mr. Miyagi. I thought that was clear, like a clear, just like remake of it all. Gotcha. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, all right. That helps then, because I'm sitting there and I'm going, how are they going to explain how he is Mr. Miyagi and Mr. Miyagi's not supposed to be alive anymore at this point, and yeah, that'll be interesting. So anyway, this new movie, I don't know anything about this new movie, but it is supposed to come out in May of 2025 is the idea, and it sounds like it is going to kind of bridge the worlds of what some people are calling the Miyagi-verse, which would be Karate Kid, Karate Kid 2, Karate Kid 3, Next Karate Kid, and Cobra Kai, bridging that with the 2010 Karate Kid movie. My question to all that is, Cobra Kai has been awesome. Do you need another movie?
Right. I'm kind of curious about that myself.
Like, I feel Cobra Kai has done so well. They've done such a great job of bringing back like the spirit of the original movies, and it's been popular. It's been good. Like I've really enjoyed watching the whole thing. And then when I saw this poster that they're talking about doing another Karate Kid movie, and Ralph Macchio is going to be in it, I'm thinking, why? Like if Cobra Kai had not been successful, then okay, I could see trying it again. But I guess if you really want to do that, just bring Jackie Chan's character into Cobra Kai.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. As the clock in Beauty and the Beast said, if it ain't Baroque, don't fix it.
Yeah, right.
So, all right. Well, any before we get into three questions, any final thoughts about the inexplicable bungee jumping, the paramilitary groups, any of the other stuff from the next Karate Kid?
Well acted movie. I love the camera angles, not when the camera's falling and it,
Right.
but everything else seemed to work real well. The stuff that I don't know. I wanted to succeed here. That's what I want to say. I watched this movie and I wanted it to succeed, right? Because there was so much stuff that would have been fun to explore. Some of those deeper thoughts, some of those deeper like philosophies that she learned while she was at the monastery was cool.
Yeah.
Her standing up against the bullies, that was cool. But it just seems like a lot of that was reduced to mystical magic, the magic touch healed things. And, they go bowling and all he has to do is kind of make the prayer sign and the ball pops out of the gutter. And that stuff just kind of like, that kind of took you out of it and made something that could be cool. And like, like kind of think about that. Hey, how does that philosophy work for life? It just kind of reduced it as it just reduced it. It kind of lessened it the way they wrote those things.
He's Jedi man.
Yeah. And again, I mean, I keep laughing and I don't know, I still can't get past that bungee jumping scene, but yeah, the bad guys, that was just so completely over the top that and where was the motivation? Like you understand the bullies in the Karate Kid, right? They're just bullying this kid. Or if you believe Cobra Kai, okay, well, maybe he deserves some of it too, right? Like that's the whole thing with Cobra Kai. And then you learn about why the, Kreese and then Terry Silver and all the other guys, you find out why they were just so over the top and violent and brutal and all those types of things. Cause you hear, you kind of see, well, in Cobra Kai, you see their backstory, but you just have a little bit more of a picture of these guys in the movies. In this one, it's just, Red Squad, they're just jerks. But no explanation as to why or how they got there.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I want the movie to succeed, but yeah, those things, they just kind of watching it. Don't watch too closely.
Right.
Yeah, and the whole like Michael Ironsides thing, but yeah, weird is all I have to say about that.
Yeah, like I just, if that happened, the police would have been called. All those guys would have been arrested.
And sometimes you can like suspend disbelief on that, and sometimes you just can't.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a can't. Like there was a lot of can't there.
Yeah.
Well, and how you could possibly have this colonel working at this high school and beating up on students.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, that's yeah. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? I don't know. I don't understand. I've never understood it.
Yep.
Yeah. If I had the Greatest Generation sound drop from the X-Men 90s cartoon, I'd call this one the Inexplicable X-Men.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand why things happen. All right. I believe that it is time for 3 questions. If you gentlemen are ready for 3 questions.
My soul is prepared, Dr. Jones.
He asks each traveler 5 questions. 3 questions. 3 questions.
It's impossible to answer.
Impossible because you don't know the answer.
Nobody could answer that question.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
All right. Question number 1. What is your favorite kind of bird?
I don't know. Hawks are pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Hawks, eagles, raptors.
I mean, if she comes into Cobra Kai, there is the whole, like, isn't the one character's name Hawk?
Mm-hmm.
With the guy with the mohawk?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they had the Eagle Fang dojo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she could bring her hawk into Cobra Kai, and it would be, if they want to just contact us and have us write the episodes, I'm fine to do that.
You know what? I can't remember. How far are you guys along in Cobra Kai?
I'm caught up. Bo
Like
has not
100%?
watched. Bo has not watched any
Okay.
of it.
You're all 100% caught up?
I am 100% caught up.
So, who, like, the incredibly epic brawls.
Oh, yeah.
That is so... That's over the top, but that's over the top good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So...
Yeah.
I just love every time in that show when Hawk attacks or does it, you hear the hawk cry in the background.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine is, I'm going to go with the penguin.
There you go.
Mine's a penguin. I love penguins.
I do like penguins. That's a good call.
Yeah. Poetically, I love a raven, but I think I'm going to go with penguins.
Yeah, I'm regretting not choosing the penguin myself. I do like penguins.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
You said bird. I pictured flying things, and I wasn't thinking.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I'm a penguin. I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is.
Aficionado.
Yeah. Interesting.
Any creature that has had its life narrated by Morgan Freeman.
Indeed, I think that's a good way to look at that. Yeah.
Yes.
Pat, did you say yours? Did you say hawk?
Albatross.
Oh, albatross. Okay.
Albatross. Those things, and those are the ones that can fly for like ever.
Yeah.
Those are
that are amazing
ones,
to me.
Yeah.
They're amazing. They talk about how long they hang in the air. It's amazing. I find those birds just fascinating.
I agree.
Also regularly repeated in the Monty Python sketch. Albatross. Okay, question number 2. Question 2 is, what is your favorite 4th movie in a franchise?
Oh, I'm going to get in trouble.
Ooh. Well, this is actually an easy one, depending on how you define 4th movie.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, was it the 4th made, or is it episode 4?
Mm-hmm.
You can interpret that however you would like.
Well, if you're interpreting it as episode 4, then, well, hello, Star Wars episode 4, A New Hope. I mean, I don't know that there's much discussion needed for that for me. If you're not interpreting it as that, I have thoughts.
Okay. So let's say, I'll let you interpret it as that, but let's say I didn't let you interpret it as that.
Well, maybe everyone else should go first before I monopolize the the options. We'll see what we come up with. But
Patrick.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna go. What the heck? I'm gonna put my thing out there and get in trouble. I really liked Matrix Resurrections.
Okay.
I liked some of the messaging in there. I like the tongue-in-cheek meta kind of feel to it. Yeah, I dug it. And then I've got honorable mentions, but I'll go with that one.
All right. I mean, there's several 4th movies in a franchise that I enjoy. I definitely enjoy the 2013 version of Evil Dead. That would be the fourth movie in that franchise. I enjoy Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home.
Yes.
That being the 4th movie in that franchise. I did look up a list of 4th movies in franchises, and Muppet Christmas Carol is a fourth movie in the Muppet movie
Oh,
franchise.
well, that is a horse of a totally different color.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Muppet Christmas Carol is the fourth one, if I have that right. I am going to go with a movie, Terminator Salvation. I'm not going with that one, but that's another one. That's another fourth movie in a franchise that I actually really enjoyed. I know some people don't like that one. I do enjoy it, so I like that one. The one I'm going to go with is a movie that I could be doing anything at all, and you could pop this movie in, or I could be changing channels and this movie is on. I will stop and I will have to watch the rest of this movie. If you remember early episodes of South Park, Eric Cartman could not move on with his life until the song Come Sail Away With Me was sung to completion. I am the same way with Rocky IV.
Oh, there you go.
If you put on Rocky IV, and I know that there's an Ivan Drago fight coming, or a training montage in the mountains of Russia, I can't move on until Rocky IV is over, and until if I can change and yous can change, we can all change, and once we've all changed, then I can move on with my life. So I'm going to pick Rocky IV as my favorite fourth movie in a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Muppet Christmas Carol might be like a really close second.
Yeah, the Rocky one is pretty good. What's the fourth movie in the Marvel thing? Is it Captain America, First Avenger?
Maybe because you had Iron Man.
No, I don't think that's the fourth.
Might it be Iron Man 2?
Might be. No, actually, it looks like it's Thor.
Oh,
Okay.
there you go. Still good.
Yeah.
Because it's
Not quite as good, but still good.
Yeah. Because they are.
What do you got? You got Hulk,
Because
the two Iron Men,
they're
and then
considering
Thor.
Iron Man as the first, Incredible Hulk as the second, Iron Man 2 as the third, and Thor as the fourth.
There we go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What were you, Bo? You said you had some honorable mentions.
Yeah, the recent Beverly Hills Cop release, Axel F.
Oh, I still haven't seen it. Is it good?
Was not bad.
Really? Okay.
I enjoyed that. For a fourth movie in a franchise, I think it's got some legs.
Okay.
Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, if you consider that the 2016 one is an alternate universe reboot, which is what the list I consulted said.
Okay.
Otherwise, Frozen Empire could be considered a fifth, which would be a whole nother, which would make Afterlife the fourth, and then it gets weird.
Okay.
Let's see. There was one more. No, I've lost it.
I'm noticing nobody went with Superman 4: The Quest for Peace or Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I think we avoided those.
Okay.
And Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, I think, got left off some lists. Lethal Weapon 4 wasn't terrible.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Jet Li was in it.
Right. The fourth Fast and Furious wasn't horrid either.
No.
Because I honestly think they picked speed up again starting with number 4. So, there's more out there than you think, because you think 4, you're like, oh, by the time they've done 4 of something. But then, start to think about it a little bit. You're like, okay.
Technically, Mad Max Fury Road is the fourth movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Hobbit, Unexpected Journey is the fourth movie.
Yes.
Yeah. Pat, I'm a little surprised that you didn't mention the millions and millions of Mission Impossible movies.
Wow, that's right. So what would the fourth one be?
It looks
Ghost Protocol?
It looks like the fourth one is Ghost Protocol.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That one. You're right. Fourth Bond would be
Thunderball.
You Only Live Twice. Oh, Thunderball would be 4?
According to this list, Thunderball is the fourth.
Well, what do they have for 2 on that list, though?
Well, I'll have to look and see.
Because if 2 is
Dr. No from Russia
if 2 is David Nevin's Casino Royale, then there could be an argument over what's 3 and what's 4.
No, they
Oh,
list.
you know what? I think my answer has to be Thunderball, because when I was counting, I forgot to count Goldfinger.
Okay.
So yeah, Dr. No, Goldfinger, From Russia with Love, Thunderball.
Thunderball, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thunderball is a classic.
Mm-hmm.
I can already hear the song in my head.
Thunderball. Yeah. Which we could play. We could play up against O's favorite GIF in a bowling alley.
I knew
Yeah.
you were going to find a way.
Yeah.
You were going to find a way.
I was so happy when Jeff texted that to you earlier today.
I knew you were. I knew you were.
I was so happy.
Who cares?
So happy. On that note, what is your favorite movie or TV scene in a bowling alley? Bo, you don't have to answer because we know what yours is.
Okay.
I mean, you can answer. Is it the Jesus polishing his bowling ball?
That's pretty good. But and I might go with that one just because it makes me smile and laugh like nothing else. But there are definitely some scenes from Kingpin that could rival that. Or honestly, same from Big Lebowski, but when oh God, I'm forgetting the name of the character now. When John Goodman turns around and I do not roll on the Shabbos.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's something about that
Shabbos.
scene. That scene is just so good.
It's not a dog, it's a Pomeranian. It's a show dog with show papers. Got to take it everywhere or it gets nervous. Its hair falls out. Mark at 4, dude. Mark at 0, dude. I'm sorry, Smokey. You were over the line.
Now I want to watch Big Lebowski too.
Oh, of course.
Can I not go to work tomorrow?
I'm watching Big Lebowski at work tomorrow. Wait, I'm going to be at your school tomorrow with the 8th graders.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. We'll let Sundell take care of him, and I'll just go hang out in your office and
there you go.
Watch the Big Lebowski.
Nothing's happening in my office. Don't worry.
Nothing ever happened there. What a crime.
What a crime.
What a crime.
It's a league game, Smokey. I think Big Lebowski. Like I have to.
Yeah.
I mean, I do love the scenes in Pleasantville when they're in the bowling. I do love those, but I think overall, I probably got to go Big Lebowski because that's some of my favorite scenes with Walter, are obviously in the bowling alley. So.
Yeah, that Walter in the bowling alley is some great stuff.
Were you listening to the dude's story, Don? Were you listening to the dude's story? You're like a child that just wanders in the middle of the...
It's a Sabbath, which I'm allowed to break only if it's a matter of life or death. You mark that frame an 8, and you're entering a world of pain.
World of pain.
World of pain. Oh, man. Now I just want to go watch that.
I know. This is what I'm saying.
And I did, not that long ago. I just bought the 4K of it, so I haven't even had a chance to watch that one yet.
What will we do with you?
I need a winter break. It needs to be winter break so that we've got like a week or so off and can just watch movies. All right. I think that's going to do it for this one. And then that, friends, closes out 1994 for us.
1994, we hardly knew ye.
1994 is dead. Long live 1995.
Long live 1994. Exactly.
So our episodes this month have been Won't Someone Think of the Children? Patreon was The War from 94. Clifford from 94 was the Patreon short. We've done Junior, Leon, The Professional, The Client, as they say in French, and The Next Karate Kid. January, we start off with History Month. Our Patreon is Pop Culture Rundown 1995. Patreon short is Wolfman from 2025. And then our regular episodes are Apoyo 13, Braveheart, Rob Roy, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade from 1989, Nixon, and Les Miserables, the 10th anniversary concert, which we will finish off the month of January with. So we've got some really good stuff coming up in the month of January. Looking forward to all of that. Any excuse to rewatch the Les Miserables 10th anniversary concert, I will take. Like, I have that. I don't remember if I have the Blu-ray or the DVD. I have that here on one of my shelves. So it has been watched regularly. So I'm excited to talk about that one. But that'll do it, gents. So it is at this point when this episode comes out, for folks. This will be, you know what, actually, I believe this is coming out on Christmas Day for folks. So
all right.
So Merry Christmas if you
so
celebrate.
Merry Christmas.
If you celebrate, then Merry Christmas. If you don't and have other holidays, then Happy Holidays. If you don't celebrate holidays or Christmas, Happy Festivus. Happy December. Happy whatever you need it to be. So, but anyway, if you celebrate Christmas, this will be a little Christmas gift from us to you. So
there it is.
So go find yourself a prom and bungee jump into it.
Oh, jeez.
As one does.
As you should. I feel like, have you really lived if you haven't bungee jumped into a prom? I don't think so.
Yeah.
That's some Mr. Miyagi level wisdom right there. All right, everybody. I don't know what else to say. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Bo.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
All right. Everybody, be excellent to each other. Go watch some good movies, and we'll meet you back here next week for 1995.
Bring the lights down low, it's time to show. Lights, camera, you know what we mean. Behold the magic of the silver screen. Some movies